This is a new round, a new chapter, a new day in sort of US-Taliban relations, as well as Taliban, EU, and other Western donors' relations. I think it's driven by a set of priorities and urgencies. On the Taliban side, they would love to have someone recognize them politically and diplomatically. That hasn't happened yet. There are nuances in the region and beyond about how to engage the Taliban and under what conditions and circumstances. The Taliban also would like to have Afghan finances and assets, monies that have been frozen by the World Bank, IMF, and others, unfreeze, and so that they can use that for governance purposes. There are obviously issues on the US side, on their agenda. They would like to see the Taliban be more open, be more inclusive, uh, adhere to human rights, women's rights, give access to school to girls, and also even ask for counterterrorism cooperation if possible, which the Taliban seem not to be ready to do at this point. But the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan, which is very dire, and looming famine, and the fact that people are now hungry and have no money, I think is driving all of this. The international community feels some level of responsibility. They had spent hundreds of billions of dollars in Afghanistan, and the coffers seem to be empty after Ashraf Ghani fled. So on both sides, there's a need to engage. Obviously, how you frame engagement and what kind of dialogue you engage in is right now being discussed. And I think that it's because of the dire urgencies out there in Afghanistan.
A couple more notes from Afghanistan. Nangarhar province, first of all, in the east, where a bomb has killed the governor of a local district. 3 of his guards wounded as well. An explosive device planted on the side of the road, though no group has claimed any responsibility for that. And the UN Refugee Agency says the world should urgently provide the aid it has promised to the Afghan people. A number of international organisations have warned Afghanistan is on the verge of a humanitarian catastrophe.
Nearly 700,000 Afghans have been displaced just this year. And this kind of takes the total of displaced people that are only affected by conflict to 3.5 million. So we are now in a race against time to help and support vulnerable, desperate Afghans. And winter is just around the corner. Our fear is if they are not helped as soon as possible, the consequences of this could be really, really worrying and more problematic.